So normally I would tell you the very first thing that you want to do is you want to start with your chicken. And so like when my mom made this when I was growing up, you started with a whole chicken in a package, chicken. And so you would fill a pot with water or put your chicken in and then fill the pot with water. Then you would add celery, onion, and carrots. You could chop them up or you could just, put them in there finely, big chunks of stuff. And then once your chicken is done, you've boiled the chicken till the chicken's done. You take the chicken out, you let it cool, and then you debone by hand. You pick all the chicken off the bones and you shred it up, set it aside on a plate, and then you would take your broth and strain it. So then you would strain off all the whatever's floating in the water, strain it off, and there you would have homemade chicken stock. Probably need to salt and pepper it a little bit more. And then you also have the option of taking your celery, carrots, and pureeing them or dicing them up further or starting all over so that you have a really thick stock. Wholly up to you. I'm not doing that because we'd be doing this all day if I started with the chicken. So I'm gonna do cheat stock. But we're gonna do that after we make our dumplings. Now this is my mother's dumpling recipe. And I've posted it several times. It's on this old, it's backwards, I know, but it's on this old faded out, look, it's got stuff on it. It's brownish now, that she gave me when I went to college. But I still use it and I still pull it out. Even though I know the recipe by heart, I still have to pull it out and look just to double check, even though I've added a few things to hers. But there are a whole lot of dumpling recipes. First is hey Marion, hey Cheryl, hey Jeff. The first thing is what kind of dumpling? And this can create all kinds of controversy too. There are drop dumplings, not this girl, not drop dumplings. And drop dumplings are like when you take the dough and you just like drop it in, you drop it in the boiling water and it makes this like puff ball. Some people actually take their dough, roll it in a ball, and dump it in, kind of like you do like matzo ball soup. If you've never had matzo ball soup, very good. So that's like a ball dumpling or a drop dumpling. Some people cheat even further, which cheat is fine, and they use biscuit dough. Hey, Kathy. I don't like the taste of that. And again, really just what you grew up with, right? But I don't want a doughy middle. And every time I've had drop dumplings, and people come, oh, you must taste these. These are the best drop dumplings. And so I give it a shot, but inevitably there's like a doughy center. I don't like that. I like roll-out dumplings, which is what we're gonna do. And it is more messy and it does take a little bit of time. But for me, it's like these little pillows that just melt in your mouth. Oh, so good. And since I'm not feeling 100%, yesterday's infusion really kind of took it out of me. I came home, I drove home like with the little barf bag they gave you going, please, let's just make it home. Please just make it home. And then I went to bed and I was in bed the rest of the night. And then I got up this morning and so I'm feeling much better, but not 100%. Still a little, so anyway. So there you go. So we're gonna start the dumplings and we're making roll-out dumplings and then we're cheating with the whole chicken and the stock and all of that, okay? So cheating big time, but not with biscuits. No. Okay, so you need a big old bowl. I'm using, always, I can't help it. It's my Polish pottery. Look at this. This pattern is called maraschino. Isn't that pretty? It's like the color of maraschino cherries. I love this bowl. Anyway, it's a big old bowl. You could do exercise. My friend Rebecca does exercise with her bowls. You could go 1, 2, do your twists, twist. But we're not doing that. Okay, so the first thing, all we're gonna need, this is really simple. The major ingredients you're gonna need for your roll-out dumplings is flour, egg, oil, water, salt and pepper. But I'm gonna put in probably some garlic too. But that being said, a lot of people, hey Terry, hey Kelly, Darlene, good to see you, good morning. A lot of people's recipes are very different as well. Some people put in milk. Older recipes that you might have will call for lard or shortening, i.e. Crisco, right? Because that's what everybody cooked with back then. I'm using liquid oil. That's what Mother used. I'm sure she used Crisco at one point. But, you know, when this came out, because remember, before this came out, it was Crisco or bacon fat, and that was it. Bacon fat. I love bacon fat. But no bacon fat today. Okay, we're gonna start with our flour. See, I have so many Polish pottery things, don't I? This is my canister. I should take you and show you all my canisters. I will before we leave. I'll show you. I love my canisters. Anyway, look at that. It doesn't have bees, but it looks like bees. Doesn't it, little happy? Happy, happy. Okay, so now we're gonna need flour. I am doubling my recipe. So the recipe that I post online will be for a single batch, which is fine for you. One would never work in my family because, you know, normally you would have chicken and dumplings and like a side salad and everybody, but no. My family would be happy if their chicken and dumpling bowl was this big, right? So I have to double up, and there you go. All right, so the original recipe calls for 1.5 cups of flour. I'm using 3, okay? Oh, poof! I got the poof. All right, so 1, and we're gonna need extra flour because we're gonna make a mess on the counter in just a second. 2, la 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 la. Oh, dig, Cindy, dig. 3, okay. A lot of the recipes, like when you're making bread or dumplings, it'll say to make a little well in the middle. So, see, you just kind of make a little well. You can do it with your hand or your spoon or whatever. Okay, okay, we'll just move that. Okay, so now we're gonna need, the original recipe calls for 1 egg. I'm doubling, so we're gonna use 2 eggs, okay? And you can drop those right, oh, flour puffed everywhere. Just drop the egg smack dab in the middle of that well that you made, okay? Eggs are empty. Luckily, we have more. Now is the liquids. So we're gonna add oil and we're gonna add water. Again, some people's recipes might use, instead of water, might use milk, might use chicken stock. Instead of oil, you might use, like I said, lard or shortening, maybe butter, but I'm not certain that would be good. I don't know. We're using oil. I'm using Mom's recipe. Okay, measuring cups. Okay, so even though I double this every time, Mother's original recipe says 3 tablespoons of oil and 5 tablespoons of water. Now you think, as many times I've made this, I would convert 3 tablespoons of oil into whatever, you know, a 1/4 cup or something, or 5 tablespoons, but no. No. Yes, I'm the one-handed cracker. Thank you, Joanne. I know it's a beautiful one. Hey, Eileen, my friend Eileen's on. Hi, Eileen. Impressive egg. Thank you, Sharon. Needless to say, you think after as many years as I've made this recipe, I would have converted, but I don't. I just do more. So it says for 3 tablespoons of oil, I'm gonna use 6, okay? 1, 2, 3. I'm making a mess. 4, 5, 6. I made a mess. Okay, I'll clean that up in a second. All right, now we need water. Look, more Polish pottery. This is my little carafe. Isn't that pretty? Pretty. Well, I didn't want to go stand by the sink and under the faucet, right? Because then I'd have to take it to the sink. I didn't want to do that. So I have my little carafe. This is called, what is this called? Crimson Bell. Crimson Bell. Pretty. Okay, so this recipe calls for 5 tablespoons of water. Remember, some recipes may call for milk or chicken stock. Mine is water. So instead of 5, because I'm doubling, I'm doing 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 licks to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop. Okay, there we go. It's a mess. It is a mess. I gotta move this. Oh, now we have to do salt and pepper. Mother's recipe says 1 teaspoon of salt. So get your teaspoon out. There's my teaspoon. And a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper for your poppycock. I don't know why I say that every time. Pepper for your poppycock. 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Okay, so that's all in there. Did you measure? I measured. Did you see how close my measurement was? It's very important to measure. Okay, now, it looks very gross. And at this point, you're gonna go get your spoon or a spatula or something. But it doesn't matter how much you do, this is where this comes in. You need to make sure you wash your hands because this is gonna get gross. Okay, now, I'm gonna have to turn you. Wait, I'm moving this so it doesn't. The reason this is all gross is because I usually don't move this. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn you this way, just a wee tad. Okay, can you see what I'm doing? All right, so now I'm gonna take my flour container and now you gotta put, my cabinet's cleaned. You gotta put flour down because if you wait to do this, your hands are gonna be icky and gross. And you're gonna think that you can do this all with a spoon, but it ain't happening. You're also gonna need a rolling pin. See, rolling pin, flour up your rolling pin. I don't have a Polish pottery rolling pin. Someday I shall have one. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna set this over here. Wait, I'm gonna smush this out just a little bit. Just take your hand, because we're gonna roll all this out onto our flour. Ooh, it's like being a child. Do you ever include fresh herbs in the dough? I do not, because I'm using Mother's recipe. You could do fresh herbs in the broth, but I'm not so certain in the dumplings. I just don't wanna mess with the dumpling flavor. I don't know. Again, really what you grew up with. 1 crunch to get to the center. There we go. Hey Janet, good morning. You need a Polish pottery rolling pin. I do, don't I? Okay, so now we have this messy bowl with all of our liquid and our stuff. And so now, here we go. You ready? See, it's a good thing I have an apron on today because we're gonna get gross. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in. Oh, do you know that when I was younger, when I was growing up, there used to be a joke in my family that I couldn't cook. Now, I knew how to cook, but I always told them that I couldn't. And it was lazy, right? Because you know I was a lazy teenager. And so Mother would say, she can't even boil water, because she would leave me in the kitchen. And she would say, call me when the water's boiling. So I would go, well, I can't tell. Is it boiling yet? Is it boiling yet? I can't tell. Oh, it used to make her so mad. And then she'd leave me in front of the stove, you know, tell me when it browns. I can't tell. Is it brown? A little brown or a whole lot of brown? I was a bratty kid. Bratty kid. Okay. Yuck. Yuck, I tell you. And most of the time, like, okay, so we didn't have cooking spray, Pam or whatever when I was growing up. And so when you had to grease a pan, you had to stick your hand in the Crisco container and grease that way. And I just don't like, I mean, I was not a Play-Doh kid or a mud kid. Hey, Maddie. And so getting my hands gross, yuck. Okay. Ta-da. That's what we got. It's a little wet. But that's okay, because we're going to roll it in flour. All right, so it's a little wet. There you go. Now, we're going to put it down on our thing. Now, look at my hand. Is that disgusting? Blah, blah, I tell you. All right. Now I have to get the other hand gross. Okay, so I'm gonna roll it. I don't know, can you see? Do the thumbs up or the hearts if you can see, because your comments are kind of covering the bottom of the screen. So I can't tell if you can see the flour or not. Thumbs up or hearts if you can see it. Can you see it? Oh, okay, good. All right, now, kind of gross, right? This is where you can get the extra ick, because you don't want to lose any dumpling, do you? Extra ick off your hands. I washed my hands, don't worry. I'm not touching my face. I'm not going anywhere. All right, my family's all gonna be okay. All right, so now it was wet when I pulled it out of there, and that's okay because I just did it in the flour. If you find little pieces that have fallen off, just pick them up and put them in your thing. So now I've got a little mound. Can you see my little mound? La la la. I'm gonna smush down. I keep just making it a little flatter. Now, you don't have to do this part right now because you could just use the whole thing with your rolling pin. But, don't mess with perfection. I like that. I do get all my Polish pottery from Rebecca Sherilyn. All right, are these proper English dumplings? Of course not, Janet. I can't see who wrote that, but I know it's Janet Johnson doing that. Okay, now, a rolling pin. Make sure you get a little flour on there so it doesn't stick. And now we're gonna roll out. Now, your rolling pin has these little handles so that you can roll, but I don't know. I tend to roll with my hands on the center. Now, what we're going for here is a thinner dumpling for a couple of reasons. One, the thinner dumpling, oh, did you die? Flour everywhere. Crazy woman with the rolling pin. You should report me. Okay, thinner dumplings. One, they cook a little faster. You're ensured of not getting a doughy middle. Yuck. Because we want them to melt in our mouth. I don't really want to have to even chew the dumpling. I want to put it in my mouth and it just, little pillowies of meltiness. All right, so we're going for, let's say, 1/8 or 1/4 inch. Thin, I tell you. Okay, so I'm gonna peel off just this little side here. I don't know if you can see how thin that is. Pretty thin, thin, I tell you. Now we have to cut them. Okay, I have to go get the pizza cutter. I forgot the pizza cutter. Hold on 1 second. Sing, la 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 la. I don't know what we're singing. Pizza cutter's way over here. Okay. You don't have to use a pizza cutter. You can use a knife. Use a knife if you so desire. But very easy if you use a pizza cutter. Ouch. Oh my gosh, I'm salivating. We're not even cooking yet, Sherilyn. All right, and so then you want to do strips, okay? You can, like I said, you can use a knife. I mean, as long as your countertop is not linoleum. If you have linoleum countertops, hold on. The first time I ordered chicken and dumplings, bitterly disappointed. Yeah, well, I know. I never thought of using a pizza cutter. See, new ideas. Hey, Mary Beth. Love your face. Thanks for sharing. Would love to see a Facebook Live with your husband. Yeah, well, I can't see my husband, so there will be none of that. Now, you can do these as thick or as thin as your little heart desires. Most of the time, by the time I get to here, I'm just happy we're almost done. Okay, long strips. Now, you're not going to put that long little strip in there. That'd be like long spaghetti noodles. Really long spaghetti noodles. Look, my lines aren't even straight. I'm like the drunk dumpling maker. That's it. Pull me over for drunk dumplings. Okay, now we did up and down. Can you see the up and downs? Now I'm gonna go across. Does it matter, you say, if they're even? Nope. Does it matter if they're all the same size? Nope. Does it matter that this little tiny piece is gonna be in there right next to this big old piece? Nope, they're all going to be yummy. Okay, now you need to let them set. This is why we're doing things in kind of stages. I'm backwards. Oh, I'm backwards. I don't know. Laminate. Yes, laminate. If your countertops are laminate, I don't know if you can use a knife on that. But your pizza cutter should probably be fine as long as, see, my pizza cutter is plastic. Plastic. It's not the knifey kind. So you don't want to mess up your countertop. Mine is this, it looks like marble, but it's not really marble. It's like fake marble. Anyway. Okay, so we need to let these dry. Usually 5 or 10 minutes is fine. Remember, we were a little wet, then we've rolled them all out, but we want to let them dry just a little bit, okay? All right, so that means we need to start on our stock. But before we start on our stock, I have to go wash my hands because, gross. It's just really grossing me out. Yuck. So, Jess, you want to come talk to everybody? Okay, here's my friend Jessica. She's going to come talk to you while I wash my hands. Say hello to Jessica.
Where are you? Hi, guys. How's everyone doing today? You know, she's making 2 batches, and I get one of them. The perks of knowing Cindy Pirtle. Gotta love it.
You don't get a whole batch. You get a bowl. The boys get a whole batch. Well, you're not talking.
I am. Okay, she's wrapping it up. I don't want to get my hair in this.
Well, that'd be disgustingly gross.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to turn you. Let's move my beautiful bowl over there. Now I'm going to turn you back. The dumplings are still there. Don't worry. I haven't hurt them. They're all still there. Okay. La, 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 la. Okay, now. So, I don't want the... There. You there? Okay. These are cooktop. So I'm cooking these on top of the stove. So I'm a little disappointed because that means no Polish pottery. Because Polish pottery does not go on top of the cooktop. It can go in the microwave or the oven or the freezer or the dishwasher. All good, but not on top of the stove. Boo-hoo-hoo. So I have this big stock pot. You see me in my big purple one. This one is orange and it's long like this. Doesn't really matter. But what's gonna happen is, once I get my stock in here and it starts to boil, then I'm gonna drop these in. And so I like to have a big surface to drop them all in. Okay, so we're cheating on the stock because I didn't boil the chicken. I'm just using chicken out of the freezer. I didn't use the chicken, although I may even use canned chicken. We'll see. I don't know what I'm using yet. But I need some stock. We gotta have something to boil these in, and plain old water isn't gonna cut it. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna start off with chicken broth. This says 48 ounces. This is a big old chicken stock. Big old. Is that a Texas thing? Big old. All right, so chicken stock in. I could have moved you over to the stove, but then I would have to put you around my neck or have somebody do it, and we're not doing that just yet. Squirt, squirt, squirt. Okay. Then I'm gonna add, just because I like you don't have to do this. If you like it more broth-y, is that a word? Broth-y, you don't have to do this. I like it cream-y, broth-y, lots of E words. So I'm just gonna put in a can of cream of chicken soup in there. Out, I say. There we go. All right. Then I'm gonna season it up, because normally, remember, I'd be cooking with a whole bunch of other stuff, but I'm not doing that. Okay, so teaspoon of salt. I like pepper, so while you may say a half a teaspoon, I'm putting a whole teaspoon. I'm putting at least a teaspoon of garlic, granulated garlic, because I want this broth to taste good. My dumplings are gonna be swimming in here. Pretty good. We have an orange cast iron round pot just like that, do you? I had a horrible time finding chicken stock. Yeah, I know. So if you have chicken, you can make your own, homemade. It really isn't difficult. You just gotta put it all in there and bring it to a boil. Poof, strain it all off. Chicken stock, it's not difficult. It's just if you want it now, in our now society, we don't have it. Okay, so chicken stock, creamy chicken soup, salt, pepper, granulated garlic. Remember, I didn't make this from scratch. This is celery seed. You don't have to put this in there, but again, come on. So like maybe half a teaspoon of celery seed. I just want some more flavor. I'm gonna use some minced onion because I didn't chop onion and saute. So like a tablespoon. I really have to go to the store. The spices are getting low. That's bad. And then somebody asked about herbs in the dumplings. I do not put herbs in the dumplings, but perhaps you want your stock to be a little ya-ya. So you can, you could use fresh parsley in here. I don't want, that's just, No, I'm using dried parsley, okay? Oh, you know what? You can't use the shaky side for dried parsley. Okay, but I am gonna tell you a hint. When you're using dried parsley, so can you see that? So what is that? That's like a teaspoon, you see? Dried parsley. Now, it smells fine, but you wanna release it all. So before you drop it in here, put it in your hand, put your other hand on top, and rub it together, and then kinda, see how I'm doing? Back and forth. Now, it's coming out of my hand into the soup pot. And then it all comes out. I mean, I don't know how long you've had your dried parsley in your cabinet, but there you go. All right, now I'm gonna just take a whisk, and I'm gonna whisk this up because you know you have that big blob of condensed soup in the bottom, and I don't want this. So you're gonna say you only put in 48 ounces of chicken stock in that can of soup. That is not enough liquid, and you would be correct. That is not enough liquid. It's so weird to, okay. Parsley's floating. All of our seasonings are yummy. La 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 la. Okay, our soup is all incorporated. Now I'm gonna add water. We'll see if I have enough in here. I think I do. Handy dandy carafe. Yes. Now, you don't wanna go all the way to the top. Nancy, you're here, so excited. Great idea, cream of chicken, yes. It's okay, Nancy, you can always be late. Hey, Kathy. So, you don't wanna go all the way to the top of your pan, or your pot, okay? So I've got that much room from the top of my pot to the top of the liquid. Okay, I'm gonna put this on the stove and bring it to a boil. Ugh, very heavy, I say. Now, so normally, remember I told you that normally we would have started and we would have boiled our chicken. And in our stock, we would have had the celery and the carrots and the onions and salt and pepper and all of that. When the chicken was done, we would have taken the chicken out of the pot to cool and then debone. And, you know, shred all up. Then we would have taken the stock and we would have drained it. So we would skim out all the big pieces, and then we would have yummy, ooey gooey, not ooey gooey, savory chicken stock, homemade chicken stock, really the best. And so it's still hot, right? If you did everything I said in the order that I said, which is the way I normally do it, your stock would still be hot. And so what I normally do is I leave it on the stove with the lid on it. It still remains warm. And when I finish rolling out my dumplings and cutting them, I know that they need to sit to dry out for 5 or 10 minutes. That's when I go back to the stovetop and take the lid off and turn it on high. Because we need our broth at a boil, a rolling boil. That's what we need, a boil. So that's what we have to do. Late but here. I'm doing good, Doris. Hello, Catherine. Sandy, you're looking good today. This recipe, it is yummy. Thank you for saying I look good today. I don't feel very good. I feel icky. Boo. Icky boo. Anyway, but so our dumplings have dried. Look at the difference. So if you're going, oh, but I have to be perfect. If you're OCD and you have to be perfect, then you take much longer. Look at the size difference. That one's thick. That one's thin. See, I told you I'm a drunken pizza cutter person. Look at that. Little bitty, big old fat. Doesn't really matter. It's all gonna cook. It's all gonna be lovely. Now, remember I told you we put the cream of chicken soup to make our chicken stock a little creamier. These dumplings all have flour on the top of them, right? So they're made of flour. But remember, we're sitting in flour right here. Flour. Raining flour. Your kids would have fun with this. I'm making a big mess, and I'm a big kid, I guess. As we're laying these into the boiling water, we've got more flour. We will still thicken up just a little bit more. The other day when we did the peachy keen crisp, and somebody used, I don't know if she used canned peaches or frozen peaches, but you know, because I want that thick, ooey gooey syrup in the bottom. And she said she thickened it up using a little cornstarch. You certainly could do that with this, but we don't want it thick. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe that's how you grew up, but I don't want it thick. I want some good old yummy, creamy broth with every little bite of dumpling. So good, so good. Okay, so our dumplings are pretty much dry. They're dry, but we have to wait till they come to a boil. Boy, I was gonna show you my canisters. Let's go look at the canisters. Because we just have to wait until our broth comes to a boil. Oh, it's warm. Okay, you have flour all over you. Okay, I'm gonna turn you around. Oh, there's a mess over here, but that's okay. My daughter had breakfast quesadillas this morning. Do you have a quesadilla maker? I love this thing. See, it's all dirty in there, but she made quesadillas. Okay, so this is my favorite canister. Isn't that pretty? That's called the wreath pattern. I love that. And then this one looks just like my other one, except a different pattern. Look, it has a little matchy. It has a matchy. I keep sugar in that one and sweetener in that one. There we go. Then, look how pretty this one is. Ooh, I have that one. I have this one. Very pretty. I have this one. See, this one and this one kind of go together. The blue flowers and the red flowers, right? Then I have this little bitty one. That's like for the coffee thing, right? That's got a cork in it. And look at this. One day we're going to do this. I haven't decided when. I'm going to pull this way. Well, I say I am. Okay, you got to see this. This is the coolest thing. And so one day on here, we'll make this. Can you see? Look at the top. See how it has this little well here? Okay, this is called either a fermentation or pickling crock. So you can make pickles and all that. I make homemade sauerkraut in this. And so what you do is you just put your cabbage and some salt and water in there. And then you pour water in this little well part right here, in the little well. And then you put the lid on it. See the water? You'll see it right there. And it'll kind of keep it like suction cup. And then you just leave it there. You don't have to do anything else. Nothing else. You just leave it there for several days. I'm trying to think. 7, 10, depends on how you want your sauerkraut. And then it's done. Although, what's the name of the pottery store? More Polish Pottery. She's got a Facebook page. I know the red one is really pretty. morepolishpottery.com, or you can just go on her Facebook page, More Polish Pottery, and then you can shop from there too, if you so desire. Anyway, let's check and see if our water's boiling. A watched pot never boils, and it is not. My friend Terry's on here. I wish our friend Lori was on here. When we were in junior high, we had these necklaces that we had made for the Three Stooges, and it was Terry and Lori and I. We were like best buds. And we had matching necklaces. It was so cool. Anyway, I did get pictures of my husband yesterday because he's in the unit doing those 14 hours. Thank you very much. And he, not only does he have looks like a beekeeper hat. So he's got a mask on underneath. Then he's got the beekeeper hat on. Then he's got I don't know what it's called. The little gown, the surgical gown. Oh, we had t-shirts. We did. I forgot. He has a little gown, and then he has this hose. There's a motor, and it's hooked to the back, and there's this long, hose that goes up his back and up into the masky thing to, so that he's got breathable air and none of the uck is coming in and it's just... And then his gloves. And so he's he kind of looks like a beekeeper, although my daughter was much nicer. She said he looked like a knight. So that was better. The wife, you look like a beekeeper. The daughter, oh, daddy, my favorite daddy, you look like my knight in shining armor. So anyway, he's really tired. I talked to him last night. And it is hard because every time you go into one of those negative pressure rooms, you have to do all that in a particular order, right? So you gotta put this on, and somebody has to help you dress. Hey, Kathy. Just got on sitting here watching you while I'm crocheting ear savers. Yes, those are nice. I saw those. I was crocheting yesterday at the hospital during infusion until I get bleh. Then I couldn't concentrate on anything but making sure I didn't go bleh. I kind of apologized because I really thought I should have put this on to boil first, but I didn't want it to overboil. Oh, you know what else I wanted to add to the broth? We'll take it over there. We will take it over there. Hold on. I need this. I need 2 hands. Wait, this. First, I'll show you, and then I'll just take it over, okay? Look at this. Look at this. It's my cow. Whoops, no. It's my cow butter dish. Is that so cute? Look at that big flower on his bum. He's a bum steer. Ha ha ha. Or maybe it's a girl. Anyway, and so you lift up his bum. You lift up his bum. Whoops. Hello. Oh, you lift up his bum. And there's the butter. So, I'm going to take, what's there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 tablespoons. You like my measuring? I'm taking 4 tablespoons and I'm going to dump it in the pot. And so let me tell you why. Remember I said I was cheating, right? See, it's not boiling yet. I was cheating because I wasn't cooking the chicken. And when you cook your chicken, that's where you're going to get, see, just floating butter. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Donna. He's a space cadet. He could be a space cadet. I know. Anyway, so when you cook your chicken in here, you've got a little fat coming from that chicken. But if you cheat, okay, I'm flipping this around. If you cheat and you don't cook the chicken, no fat. So add a little butter. You're jealous of my cow butter dish, aren't you? Nobody needs a cow butter dish, but I couldn't help myself. It's so cute. I just love my cow butter dish. I have to put more butter in the cow butter dish. So should I be naughty? Here, I'll flip you around and see, and you can see some other stuff while we're waiting for it to boil. Look at my little toothpick holder. It's a little black cat. Meow. This is my salt and pepper shaker. Remember I told you it's hard to get purple for Polish pottery, but this particular pattern, look at that, a little purple. Purple is my favorite. Then this is my little tinsel holder, little hearts, that makes me happy. There's my paper towel holder. See? That's blue Aztec. And then these, see these? These are coasters, but I use them as spoon rests. Look, this one has a little bee on it. Be mine. Look, this one is a little princess. Princess. Can you imagine? Look at all the detail in that. Can you imagine having to hand do each one of these? All of them done by hand. No, I mean, there's a factory, but there's no like automated. It's all done. Okay, we should be good enough. Are we good enough? Okay, it's boiling. It's not roaring, which I would really prefer. Ow, but very hot. Okay, so I'm going to get my friend Jessica to hold the phone because this is a two-hander job. I can't hold. I could put you around my neck, but I don't want to do that. So she's going to hold the phone, and I'm going to flip it around. Ta-da. Okay, there you go. She's got you. Okay, now, so here's our dumplings laying out. I know. It would really be better if I made the dumplings over there so that I could go straight from cabinet to the pot. That being said, there's not enough cabinet space over there. I have all of this room. So I'm going to make a mess on the floor. But here's how I go. This is what I do. I pull the dumplings off and just lay them in my hand. Okay? So see how I'm laying them in my hand? I'm just picking them up and plopping them in my hand. Okay? The other thing you can do, okay, well come with me, we'll put these in first. Okay, it really should be boily by now. Let me turn this on. But it's not really boily. Oh, well look, a little boily. So now, you're just gonna take these and drop them in, okay? See, I'm dropping them in individually. You don't wanna dump them in, right? And you kinda wanna go around, I go around the edge of the pot. You don't wanna just dump them all in because then they'll clump together and then you'll have this gross, disgusting wad of yucky dough. That would be gross. So see, I'm going all the way around the edge. Okay, so now we're gonna go back, Back, I say. Here's the other thing you can do. Take your spatula, watch this. You watching? Flip it up underneath there and go down the row. Ta-da! The whole row in my hand. Whoops. Underneath. Ta-da! Whole row in my hand. Back to the oven we go. See, I've made a mess on the floor. And again, I'm going to go all the way around. You got to get some in the middle too, I do suppose. All right, go all the way around, and you have to do it individually. If you get lazy, I know I'm lazy, and you're going, but Cindy, you're lazy. I know, but this is homemade stuff that Sherilyn asked for, so you have to do this in a particular way, okay? One at a time, all the way around, because you don't want clumps of dough in there, all right? Let's get some more. I'm going to use my spatula. See, look, I got a whole row on that one. See how hard this is to do on a Facebook Live? All right, dumping all the way around in. Now, you're going to notice they're going to start to float. That's a good thing. We want them to float. Oh, those stuck together. We want them to float. But as you start putting them in and they're floating, it's harder to find, where do I put it in? I don't want to put it in on top of a dumpling. Look for your bubbles. See the bubble there? That means there's nothing right there. Look, sucks it in. Sucks it right in. Okay, I'm going to get a spoon just so you can see. We'll use a ladle. All right, so I'm going to give this a stir. Okay, do you see what it's starting to look like? So just because we're lowering them in there individually, they're not sticking together. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Look how beautiful that is. Yes, and they're not even starting to be done. Okay? Okay, we're done with that. We're done with that. I will put them all back in. I don't think you have to watch me do the whole batch, do you? Is it necessary for you to watch me do the whole batch? No. So I'm going to continue on. You'll have to as well. I kind of doubt that you are cooking along with me since you didn't know what ingredients you might have to have. Hi, Annette. I know I need to work for Pottery with Rebecca too. I know, right? Or I need to become one of her distributors or something. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rest of my my dumplings, and I'm going to dump them in one by one until all of my dumplings are in the pot. I'm going to let that continue to boil for probably about 20 minutes at a boil. Make sure, then I'm going to turn it down and I'm going to put the lid on it. I'm going to turn it way down to low. And I'm probably going to leave it on there for at least an hour because I want them all done. The only thing I would like, I have a Polish pottery spoon rest, but I don't like to use it for the spoon rest. I like to use these. I like to use these little coasters. And that way I can have 6 of them out here. When do I add the chicken? Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. So after these are all boiled, about 20 minutes, right? So we're leaving it boiling. We've added all our noodles. About 20 minutes, everything is boiled. Really, the majority of them should be floaty. That's what we want. Then you're going to add your chicken back in, shredded or chopped, however you like it, or whatever kind of chicken you're using. If you're ultra lazy, you can use cooked chicken from your freezer. Even more lazy, you can open a can or 2 of that chicken and separate it all out and dump that in there. If you don't have chicken, but you have leftover turkey, you can obviously do turkey. This is a great thing to do right after Thanksgiving, right? Because you have all that turkey and you've made turkey tetrazzini and turkey salad and turkey soup, and you're like, now what? So you could use the leftover turkey for turkey and dumplings instead of chicken and dumplings. Or, so anyway, there we go. We made dumplings. I can't believe I did this. Like I said, Sherilyn's been asking for this for quite a while, and I keep saying, no dumplings. But we made dumplings. So I really want you to tell me how you liked them. You're going to have to give me a little bit to type up the recipe and put it online because I got to continue adding all this stuff first. So for those of you who were with me yesterday at the hospital, thank you for chitty-chatting with me. It was kind of lonely because, first time my husband was there, second time my daughter was there. I was all alone in that little cubicle. So I appreciate you keeping me company for as long as you did. I'm glad you weren't with me later on in the day because that was not a pretty sight. I'm going to go ahead and get this done. Then I will type up the recipe and I will put it in the comments of this video. And then I'm probably going to go to bed. Sorry, just not feeling it today. So big hearts going out to all of you. Because this was a big deal, you might want to share the love, sprinkle the love out there. Can I say share? I don't know, Facebook doesn't like that. Share it with your friends. You can just take this video and hit the share button and share it across. And the more people that we get watching, the more kind of fun people we get to meet from all across the United States, which I think is really cool. You're welcome, Cheryl. Hey, Camille, we're leaving. You came in late. You have to rewatch. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe. By this afternoon, well, by mid-morning, your kitchen is going to smell so yummy with homemade chicken and dumplings. Your family is going to be in awe. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. See you tomorrow at around 11. Have a great day. Bye.